Welcome to That's the Setup podcast, where anything and everything is discussed, setting the conversations for a real life situation with your hosts, the 5-time book author of The Setup and Soul You book collection, and 2019 featured Essence Fest author Sherika Duncan, Roland Mayhew, mastermind key brand strategist, and former pro athlete, music producer, and restaurateur Devenchie Battle. Now, let's grab your cup, notepad, and pen to record these gems and sit back and relax. We are continually dropping on TTS News. Follow us on YouTube, that's the Setup Podcast TV channel, Instagram at the Setup Podcast TV, and Facebook, Setup Podcast TV.
Hi everyone, it's me, Rolande. I'm just taking a few seconds to say that we're back, bigger and better. We truly missed you guys, but we had to take some time off to improve the show as we entered our 3rd season. We really appreciate all of our fans from all over the world for the constant support, and we're so happy that you came back to join us again for another trip filled with more thought-provoking conversations, recognized entrepreneurs, and more guest interviews. We hope you enjoy our first episode of 2021. And as always, follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care.
Greetings, everyone. Hello. Happy spring equinox. Listen, we're so excited to be back on. Listen, it's not just a duo any longer because, I don't know if you remember our gentleman, Mr. Devenchie, from our late night talk back in, what was that, November, I believe? Well, Mr. Devenchie is actually a part of the crew permanently. Hello, Devenchie.
Hello. How you doing?
Wonderful. Rolande, it's just so exciting to have a permanent male perspective on board. What do you think?
Oh, I'm just excited. It's always good to have him with us. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he sees things. And like you said, it's a male perspective, so it'll give our conversations a little edge to it.
Yes. So excited. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the crew, Devenchie. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. What's been going on, girl? You guys? What's been up?
Oh, nothing much. It's just I'm glad that we're back on. And, there's so much happening so far in this year 2021. We made it, y'all. We got a new president. Stimulus checks are dropping.
Okay.
We've lost a few in the beginning of the year. We had a couple of crazy stuff happen and, just a lot, So, like, today's topic, I don't know. I'm not familiar with him, but he's just all over Black Twitter. There's Derek Jackson and his cheating allegations. So, are you familiar with him?
Derek Jackson, that sounds like the relationship expert, the one who always has an opinion on people's entanglement situations in ships.
Yes, apparently he got himself caught up in an entanglement himself. He's been married for over about 4 years or so. No one knew about his wife as if she was a secret. Don't know how. They've got children, supposedly. And he, from my understanding, he gives relationship advice. But he had a whole mistress on the side that he's been dealing with for years.
Hold up. He got exposed.
Huh?
He's been exposed.
Yes, that's the hot topic on Black Twitter. At first I didn't know what the big deal was about this guy. I mean, everybody has their cheating episodes or whatnot, but I guess what caught people off guard is he's promoting this whole black men don't cheat persona and all about black love and self-love, but your wife and your child, but you live in a whole nother life while you're exploring this other woman internally and externally, and you're having a hell of fun.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh,
yes.
That's pretty juicy right here. Now, listen, I don't know how to feel because I've met the beautiful wife before.
Oh, so you know him. Well, you know of him, and you met the wife. Where'd you meet her at?
Essence. You know, the last time we were physically able to go to the Essence, because, you know, it's been virtually done now, but in 2019. Yeah. She's a beautiful woman. I met his mom and the wife. They are so beautiful. I mean, they're very headstrong. The wife has a nice, meek presence. She has a somewhat of a, not a big. You know how when someone's presence is very overbearing? Like her presence is just, you know, meek and just innocent in a sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sort of like, you know, how you do a double take at someone. You know, when you're being introduced to individuals and someone tells you, you know how it is when you got 60, what does it say, 60 seconds to meet somebody, you know, in 10 seconds you kind of like sum a person up. So in that short time frame of introduction, it was just, hi, how you doing, cordially. But when the name dropping happens or the title drop happens, it's like you do a double take.
So, going back on this Derek Jackson guy, like, he's a relationship expert, right? Is he licensed or is he just a social media relationship expert?
He's an expert. He's an expert because he has adapted that title, from my view, based on his books. He writes relationship books.
Girl, everybody writes relationships books and claim to be an expert.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know I just want to start with the root. So the root is Derek Jackson. Who is Derek Jackson? He's a relationship expert. You know, is he certified? Is he licensed? Or he just one of the social media people that give advice and blow up? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the big deal with this guy?
Well, you know,
I know he's an author. Yeah, he did write a couple of books. What else?
He had an audience. He has a large following. So his following gives him some type of credibility. And I noticed he has a blue check, so he's verified.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever listened to any of his advices?
Girl, yeah.
So can you give me an example of some of the advice that he gives? Because, like I said, I'm not familiar with him like that. So.
Okay, here's one that he's known for. Black men don't cheat. Devenchie, do you agree?
Black men don't cheat. I mean, no, I can't agree with that.
So that's his liner. That's his headliner.
Yeah, because to say a black man don't cheat, that's to say a black woman don't cheat. That's to say any color or any race don't cheat, which we all know that people have tendencies. So I don't know why I would put a headliner like that out, you know, because that leaves you open to scrutiny. And now, allegedly speaking, he's been scrutinized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's, to me, that I would have been more, I ain't going to say wiser, but I would have had a better, something not as strong as black men don't cheat, because there's cases after cases where black men have cheated. And I ain't just going to say black men. I'm just saying men in general, you know, and I'm not going to be biased and just, you know, say, you know, black men don't cheat, but, you know, all people cheat. You know, once upon a time in life, someone somewhere has cheated in a relationship. And if you haven't, then God bless you, because I know there are some good people out there. They are faithful to what they are faithful to, their cause or their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and it looks like he is an alum of Tuskegee University, and he majored in marketing, sales and marketing. So that fits his success, you know. And he also is easy on the eyes.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, so that's a part of his, you know, product. Definitely an asset for sure. Things like he's a ladies' man. I'm sure if we were to do thorough research in terms of the population of his demographics, I want to say he probably have majority women, you know, in terms of his audience.
Yeah, because he caters to the women. I mean, I'm looking at some of his quotes, and what he does is that he empowers women. You know, he tells women that they balance men out, you know, and like behind every good man, there's a woman working behind the scenes. I mean, he's sending all these messages. He's catering to the needs and the women, making them feel like they are right up there. You know what I mean? And they got a loving home and a supportive spouse or boyfriend, you know. And if you just, you know, keep that in mind, then chances are that spouse or boyfriend you have is going to do right by you because you're doing right by him. But allegedly, that's not what he's doing. I think people are pissed off or upset because I don't even know. Just like people are upset about this whole Kirk Franklin cussing out his son. They're people.
Right.
Yeah, they're people. And they got emotions and stuff happens. And, you know, I don't know.
Now, honestly, you just hit something, and maybe we are being too critical. You know, we're acting as if this brother is not human. Huh?
Well, he's definitely human. I think that people who are criticizing him, I don't even know why he's trending to begin with. Like I said, because I don't think that his presence is that strong to where if he makes a mistake like that, he should be put out in the spotlight like he is right now. It's not fair to his family. It's definitely not fair to his wife because people are comparing the two. They're comparing the wife to the mistress. That's just very hard to do. You know, that has to be humiliating. It's just too much. People always got something to say.
But mind you guys, it's sort of he's already sown, he's reaping his harvest because he planted seeds of exposing other people's relationships. He has judgment. That is his end game. He always piggybacks off of the latest gossip in terms of relationships and gives his spin on things. That is what he's known for.
So the plot thickens.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's made, so to say, a come up by exposing other people, and now it's on him.
Yeah.
So it's almost like karma.
Yes, definitely.
You know, you're going to sit out here, expose other people and build women up to make them feel good. And so allegedly, if he has been, you know, caught cheating on his wife, now the question is, how many of this allegedly cheating is from women that is part of his podcast or his Twitter network that he may have reached out to and flew into the city and gave advice to them, but the advice was, you know, a little loving on the side, and, you know, I'm gonna make you feel good. I mean, because it's almost like a preacher being in church and he's just using the church to pimp people.
Pretty much. I'm right there with you.
And, you know, if you had a chance, I watched the vlogger Unwind with Tasha K. She broke it down and had the mistress on on a live interview this past Friday. And the mistress brought receipts. She gave her video footage of him, you know, asking her what color, what type of penny she got on, what color they are, you know, he needs to see, you know what I'm saying. Also, just to divvy back, they met, just like how you mentioned, how do he find these individuals? They met 10 years ago on Snapchat, just so therefore he is dibbling into the audience. and he reached out. Somehow they just kept building their friendship over the years.
Mm.
And, somehow she ended up in their house, sleeping with him.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
Allegedly, he took her out. Her and her friends to Miami to meet with his friends, and they were on a yacht, allegedly.
A menage a trois. A menage a yacht. A menage a yacht. Oh, okay.
Yes. Allegedly. And I'm like, okay. And you know what? The brother probably thought that it was not going to get leaked, because supposedly it seems as if she is taken back because he's blocked her from everything. So that's how this got leaked, because she went to the blog to expose him, because he's supposed to be the relationship expert, and that's how he leaves her standing there with the mouth open wide. But she knew what she was getting involved with, right?
So she is this basically doing whatever happens whenever you break up with a side piece or whatnot, they just go and tell your business, even though they were part of the whole background scene to begin with. But as soon as you decide you don't want to deal with them no more, they come out the woodworks with all this receipts and chit-chatting about all the pillow talk y'all have done, huh?
And it really is bad on her part to even think that she took him at face value. But she didn't even do, what woman, if the man is married, that's a no-no regardless. So that was her risk. And the thing is, she is upset because she puts him on a pedestal because of his role out here in these streets, social media streets, and how he communicates to us ladies and on how a proper man should behave. Yet he cuts her off without any explanation or forewarning, because alone she thought that he was separated from his wife.
Mm.
So that's why she was going along with everything. She said, yeah, go ahead.
So she thought that from lies that has possibly or allegedly been told that he was separated from wife.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yes.
And what it sounded like to me with her is that she didn't want to play the role of a side piece. She wanted to probably be the main piece, and got her feelings involved because he's telling her, no, we separated, it's going to be all right. And ain't no telling what he was telling her or feeding her. And by using the platform that he got, I guess she was taken by the fact that, okay, if he's out here giving advice, then he must be practicing what he's preaching, and which is not the case. And now she feel obligated to expose him because now she's hurt in such a sense, and so to speak. And like you say, it's crazy because you see this happening a lot when people are told one thing and then they find out the truth. And that's why now I guess these days you see a lot of, the wives or men end up killing their mistress or their lover or what have you. It's a dangerous game, and he's playing a dangerous game. And, like I said, it's just a classic case of the fact that, like I said, the brother is supposed to be good on the eye. If he's good on the eye, then most women these days, it's sad to say, a lot of women these days are hurting because, not judging nobody or not trying to talk bad, but a lot of brothers are on the DL, a lot of brothers are gay, and a lot of this homosexuality is being, kind of put on kids and people, and if you're not strong enough, you'll fall to it. But at the same time, I feel, women and some men, because it's so much going on out there. So it just sounds like she got her feelings hurt, and now she want to tell.
Now, I'm not going to lie. You know, the sister, his wife, is a beautiful lady, you know, dark skin, beautiful. I don't know, she wears like natural hair styles, you know, sometimes braids. She, you know, very authentic. You know, she didn't have bare minimum makeup when I met her in person at the Essence. Out of all things, it was the Essence Festival. Yes, of course, she was grinding because she was running, being a part of the vendor management of the booth, along with her mother-in-law and other staff. So they were busy working. It looked as if she had.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. Now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. I use my podcast to promote and introduce you to my novel that is coming up, The Setup, and you can learn more about that on my website at www.sherikaduncan.com and pre-order your copy today. Anchor, I love Anchor because I'm able to manipulate my voice files and give you beautiful creative pitches in the cast in my script and introduce you to different people and personality that come a part of the episodes and just dialogue with you and meet great and exciting people. So if you always wanted to start a podcast and make money from doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. Hey, I can't wait to hear your podcast. Let's go.
Has a large role behind the scenes of his success. Because, you know, I've never seen his wife prior to, you know, his, you know, meeting her that day. I don't think he's ever publicly shown her off.
Wait a minute. I'm just trying to understand this lady's angle. I'm reading, I guess this post here. It's not a post. I'm reading from, online. She, like you said, she met up with this blogger named Kay, right? And she said, the mistress allegedly said that Jackson told her, I've done stuff in the past. She hurt me. I hurt her. I cheated on her, and even to this day, she doesn't know it. Now, the timeline she puts this on is when she claims that she met him, and he flew her out in July 2020, right? But then she went to Atlanta, Georgia, to his home. She saw some moving boxes, and, you know, he claimed that they were separating, right? And so she was like, okay. But then she became suspicious because he said that they could only communicate through Snapchat. And she says a few days after she had this conversation with him, that's when she found out that she was blocked on all his social media accounts. So this didn't just happen so the breakup happened a while ago, and she's just not coming out with this?
And you know what? Okay, so yeah, we were deep in COVID quarantine stages 2020, summer 2020. Now, do we need to go over how do you know you're a side piece? Do we need to go over that?
The man said, he said we could only communicate on Snapchat. Like, girl, what does that mean?
Hello? Devenchie, is that, I mean, really?
I didn't even know people still using Snapchat.
Yeah. Like I said, she just can't accept the fact that she was a side piece.
Mm.
And, you know, I'm not trying to judge the brother. I don't know what his intention was in doing what he did. I don't know the brother like that. So, you know, who knows? But as far as the female herself, I mean, if she can't have enough common sense to know that if I have a phone and if I'm interested in you, I'm gonna give you that number, and I'm going to call you on that number, and I'm going to talk to you on that number. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, let me just say this, because I've cheated when I was younger. You know, I was in a relationship. I've cheated. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said with the brother saying black men don't cheat, that's a lie, because I know I cheated. And when I was when my significant other came to me with it, it was lies. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing to cover his butt, is telling lies and telling you. You know, sometimes good women, all they want to do is just hear that, you know, that they're not being played for food, even though they may feel it. But sometimes good men can have an impact on a woman to the fact. It's just like I can sit up here and say I can sell salt to a snail. It's the same thing, you know. And then when women do find out the truth, they hurt because they're taking that man for their word, because of the simple fact good women will, for some of the flaws that we have as men, they will overlook them and say, you know, they'll say check, check, check here, and even though over here may say check, 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 and it outweighs the good, they still might be like, well, you know, and have that hope to say, okay, I can turn him, or no, it's going to work because I feel like it's going to work. And this may have been the case with her. She may feel like, oh, okay, he's separated, so this is going to work. This is my man. This is, what's his name, Derek Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she also said that the eggplant is pretty good, pretty decent. So, and that he goes down. So she did put all that out there to be consumed.
So she got turned out.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, she got turned out. And like you said, Rolande, what's her angle now? I mean, what are you trying to get out of this? Because now, if this was like years ago, what are you trying to do now? You trying to Bill Cosby this man? You trying to get some money from him? Or, you know, what is the angle?
Trying to discredit him as a relationship expert based on how he handled, I guess she considered what they had as a official relationship, even though she is the side piece.
Yeah, but this happened a while ago. I'm over here thinking this is fresh, like they freshly broke up, and she just was over emotional about it and went out to spill the tea about it. But it happened a while ago, and discrediting him now. I mean, I get it, but you didn't. Why did she feel like she needed to do it now? Like, what's going on in the background? Who is this woman, first of all? Because we've talked a little bit about who Derek is, and we kind of brushed on his wife. What do we know about the alleged mistress? What does she do? Is she what is she? Is she one of these Instagram models? Because I'm looking at the pic, and she looks like a snack on Instagram. The usual snack-looking girls. I don't know. She looks like she's just always ready for some fun, allegedly. What else do we know about this girl?
Right.
You know, because people do anything to try to come up off of someone else's failure or whatnot. Because if this happened a while ago and you wanted to discredit him, she could have did it right then and there. Is like an opportunity coming up for her? You know, is there some kind of reality show out in the unforeseen future that she's trying to get on, and she needs some kind of dirt to make herself relevant? I mean, what is this?
That is a great question. And I don't know that answer, but all I can say is if you put yourself in the wife's shoes, what's her name again, Rolande?
Oh, darn it. Denaya.
Okay.
Denaya. Mm-hmm.
If you put yourself in Denaya's shoes, me personally, all I can do is reflect back on just that interest of just that small, short, you know, meeting session we had, brief, very brief. She was like that lady is about business. You know, she works. You know, you can tell she doesn't mind getting her hands dirty.
No, you could tell by her on her IG page. I mean, you could tell that she is his number one supporter. I tell you that much.
Oh, well,
on her page, she's got tons and tons of pics of him, and when they have like events and stuff, you know, she's part of the crew helping out.
Look, loyal, ride or die. So I need you to answer this for me, Devenchie, honestly. Why is it, for the sake of the women that are listening viewership, we always hear this often in terms of the flight of the black married woman whose husband cheats, or, you know, the Instagram model type. You know, you can compare the picture of the wife and the picture of this side piece and tell that the body frame is totally different, even to the complexion, but we're not going to get to the skin complexion, but just the body frame alone, all right? That woman on the side piece has children, or allegedly has a child, not by him, but she's a mother also. Mm-hmm. But for the women who are married, that's very discouraging. For a man like that to be on blogs and all that, to be known as a relationship guru, and to try to give women advice about their relationships or what their husband should be doing and should not be doing, and then you become a part of the problem.
Right.
That's a blow.
Yeah. Instead of just being real about it, you know, like if I was given a relationship, I would just be real about it. You know, real about what I do, and if somebody want to call me out, you know, I'll man up to it if it's true, you know, or give me a chance to explain why I thought the way I did. But to answer your question, why men do that when they have a good, strong foundation, it could be a number of things, like, you know, and it's ironic because I had someone in my family, good woman. I watched how the dude chased her and pursued after her. And, I mean, so it was like a cat and mouse game, and then the dude finally got her. And then the next thing I know, they get married. He do the same thing. He go out and cheat. And now that was going to be my next question. Like, what does the side piece look like? Because if it's always like I use an analogy. Why am I trade in a Bentley for a Pinto? And for y'all that don't know what a Pinto is, maybe I'm telling my age, but let's just say a lesser value car. So the same thing with a woman. Why would I want to go out here and it's very true that behind every good, strong man is a good woman. I believe that's how the Lord, you know, made it to be. My question is his mental. Like, what is his fantasy? Is your wife not giving you the fantasy? And then body type. If this girl is all curvy and your wife is not, you know, why did you marry her? You know, I have a lot of questions I would like to ask this brother, you know, to just see his mental. And I'm not no psychologist, but
I understand.
Yeah, it's just a lot of questions you ask, because I know sometimes men, when we grow up, we do have the pressure of, did you sleep with her, or how many women have we been with, or how many women we done dealt, because that's just how some of us grow up, you know, being in that kind of environment. And so when it's like you got to lie on your penis, so to speak, and then when you get in a position where you get vagina after vagina, you know, you might not know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm not getting too far off the subject, but what I'm saying is he might not was able to get no attention from women. And I know y'all say the brother is eye-catching, but that don't.
I don't know if that was from the start. No, I'm right there with you, Devenchie, because I went back and looked, and him and his wife looked like they came from very humble beginnings. Like he was just a regular-looking dude. She was cute enough for him. Like they looked good together. But over time, it looks like as he was trying to build his brand up, he got real buffed and ripped, and she just was looking like a wife, basically.
Right.
and that's my thing. It's like, so you done build yourself up. Now you get more attention from women than you have ever gotten in your life, and you don't know how to handle the coochie surplus.
He sure don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag coochie surplus.
Right. So my thing is, so with guys like that haven't got that attention, and not trying to shoot my own horn, but I've been an athlete. I'm athlete, and I was somewhat of a known name when I was in high school and through college. So for me, I've been fortunate enough to have that surplus. So, like, I can say to myself, Lord willingly, I do get married. I don't think something like that would tempt me to go out, especially if I got a rock, like a wife that's a rock, a solid foundation, that we would definitely, whatever we get into, it's like the Midas touch, it turns to gold. And, but I don't want to sit up here and act like, that it can't happen to me, because you never know what can happen to your thought process as you get older or whatever the case may be. So that's why I'm wondering, like, maybe he don't know how to handle that surplus of coochie. And now it's like, okay, I done got this pedestal. I got this platform. Now I done created this self as this guy that just, and women are like, oh, he's the perfect guy. And now I can do my dirt. But like most people know, most things that you do in the dark will come to light. And that's what's happening in his case. So I don't know, because like you have fantasy, and my thing is with men and women, if you together, I don't mind telling you, hey, look, suck my toe, lick my kneecap, something. You know what I mean? Communication. And if he's not communicating that to his wife, then he might not get those freaking fantasies, because one thing I do know about women, good women, you tell a good woman what you want, she'll break down and do it, because she knows right now, my man is talking to me, he's communicating with me, this is my man, especially if I'm married, this is my husband is telling me what he wants. So if I want to keep this house strong, I might need to do what he asks. And in return, I'm pretty sure if the dude was eating her out and he got a good D game, then I know the wife is happy. Well, you're telling me she posting everything, so he's doing what he's supposed to do with her, but what it is that he's not getting from her to make him go out outside of the home. And if it's body related, then while you building yourself up, you out there in the gym, hey baby, come on, let's work out, because that right there can be intense too.
Yeah. And I like what you mentioned earlier on in the conversation. You said if it was you would be transparent. You would own up to your fault.
Right.
Now, mind you, this is not the first allegation of him cheating from, like, the vlogger who, all this snowballed from Friday's YouTuber Unwind with Tasha K episode of her interview with the side piece. The vlogger said she had a couple of women come across, back in the day about allegedly him, cheating with them. And at that point, she said she went to Derek in whatever format and told him that allegedly she had dirt on him. And the dude discredited her by going on his platforms and just going down on her, just breaking it down, talking about her. And that was like red. Like, she knew in the back of her mind she was going to get him. One day, she was going to expose him, and that day was Friday. That day came around on Friday, and she's on a tangent. And the thing is, it's like, why did he not own up to it back then versus?
But wait, so then that raises another question. Since that blogger has been holding some kind of vendetta against him for all these years, just waiting for a moment to, like, nigga, I got you. I'm going to expose you. You know, like, you think she went digging for the problem? I mean, she made it look like the old mistress contacted her. You think she went looking for some dirt to put on him?
No, she actually gave a story before connecting the mistress by saying she said the mistress tried to contact her several times. She said she didn't go looking for it. The mistress came to her.
Because who is this blogger? Is she like a famous blogger? Like, who are you just going to contact? Just some random person?
She is.
I've never heard her. What's her name?
Cool. Unwind with Cascade. She's pretty cool. Just full of drama.
She's
Drama. Okay.
Yeah. She got like
a good following.
Yeah, great following.
So that goes now. That goes to speaking what goes on these days, because when you look at a lot of reality shows and when you look at a lot of stuff, a lot of people like drama. They like to look at other people mess. And what's the saying? Company misery breeds something like Dan, I can't get it.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, misery loves company. So it's drama. That's it. And I could tell you, when I had my restaurant open, I remember y'all came up, did the book tour up there and everything, and y'all know I was actually doing a reality show. And part of it, when I was talking to the producers, they were like, would you mind if we, like throw this down or knock some stuff down? And I'm just like, why we need to do that? They said, well, and I'm like, who's paying for this? So they were just like, basically, Devenchie, in this day and age, when you look at a lot of the ratings, most of the stuff that's staying relevant is drama. When you think about the Housewives, Atlanta Housewives have a lot of drama on it. So, and it's black, it's a black cast, and Andy Cohen, he know what he was doing because he's making billions off it. And, unfortunately, that goes on a lot in our culture where we do have a lot of drama. So I can understand how this blogger, if she's got a following like that, I can see her success. And the same thing with Mr. Jackson. I can see how he got the success because one of the main pieces of drama is relationships when it comes to black men. If it's not the fact that some of us are unfaithful, then it's us dealing with somebody outside outside our culture, meaning Caucasian. I think we get a pass when they say it's Latino and Asian. But if it's Caucasian, then there's a problem, So it is what it is. I mean, like you're saying, this lady is now exposing this man. She's, hoping to come up. I mean, that's what it seems like. It seems like a come up, and I could be wrong. I don't know the lady. I don't know none of these people, so I don't want to sit up here and pass judgment on nobody. All I can say is I know that with his title, Black Men Don't Cheat, that's not necessarily true. Like I said earlier, myself, I have been the subject of cheating when I was in high school, so I can't say now because I'm not in a relationship, so I can do whatever I want right now.
But I will say this: people who cheat, let's just be honest. People who cheat or people who are just like raw, they give some of the best advice. So let's be real.
Well, that's true.
This guy here giving these advices, and people are just eating him up and stuff like that. And he knew he was living a double life, allegedly, But his advices, I'm sure they touched a lot of people. They changed a lot of lives, hopefully for the positive, It just always seemed that way. People, because they know, because they're in it, they're experiencing, they're in deep in it. So they just always give the best advice, which is weird, but it's the truth.
It's like I always say about people that study psychology that become, psychiatrists and stuff of that nature. They want to give advice to other people because 9 out of 10 is something that they don't deal with in their life. And when you really get to know that person, you're like, well, Darren, how can you give advice and you effed up? But it's funny how that stuff works. It works like that sometimes.
Yes, it does.
But like I say, I'm not perfect. Ain't nobody really perfect. The thing is can you own up to it? Like, he probably can salvage this whole sting by going to his wife and basically saying, yeah, you know what, I effed up. You know what I mean? I effed up. Some things happened. Let me just tell you my thought process, why I did what, and she may be forgiven. You know,
and I believe that happened to Devenchie. I believe that happened. The vlogger made a great point by saying the timeline of when allegedly he slept with this side piece in Miami was in July 2020, and when he flew her out, her and her friends, whatever, and 3 weeks after, he posted a picture of his wife, you know, on his Instagram, celebrating, you know, their marriage. And that was the first time that he's actually shared an image on his profile of her 3 weeks after. So that kind of gives you leeway to say, oh, the wife might have, you know what I'm saying, got some way of some type of evidence come across of his, you know, cheating habits.
No.
And this is him trying to patch it up by saying, I'm happily married, and then he blocked this chick.
Yeah, now what you saying there, he probably had that conversation.
Yeah, and I'm still feeling like I'm just saying, I still feel like the blogger have an ulterior motive. Like, she said that, you know, he went back and posted whatever about his wife for the first time. I'm on his Instagram page, and he has a few, not as much, but he has a few pictures of him and his wife, and it goes back. Some of them go back a while. Like, he has more than one picture, and he didn't just post them. Like, they've been on there. So I'm not sure why she would mention that. I still think, you know, she felt, you know, because, you know, the first incident that happened between them, and just, you know, I'm not saying she was laying low-key trying to find a way to trap them and expose them, but when it came across her way, she didn't feel bad about doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. Like I say, you know, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm not passing judgment on either party, but at the same time, like you said, the timing, it's like now it's almost a year later and you want to expose this brother. I mean, you know, why wait so long, you know? And it's just like almost like with the Bill Cosby stuff, all the stuff like that. It's like, why you waiting so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
cash
so much.
in, huh? The cash in.
Yeah, the cash
in. Yeah.
It's so much, like I say, it's so much that's behind it. It's so much, you know, even if you talk to that person, they probably, you know, will hire whatever they want to hire, tell you only what you want to hear, or tell you something to hopefully that you'll believe. You know, my thing would be, what is the wife saying about all this? That's the person I would like to talk to.
And what gives this mistress authority to command some type of end communication protocol before he blocks her? You know, he's not loyal to her.
Well,
he's loyal to his wife.
Right, but that's the authority that she had given. She thought by the fact that I've given up my treasure, and he's went down there and, you know, licked out the lake of my treasures, and, you know, he done did all that good stuff. You know, sometimes, and I'm not trying to say that it's wrong, but that is a treasure. When a woman do give you that, and especially if she's not out there, you know, lending it to any and everybody, you know, sometimes they feel obligated that, hey, you know, I've given you something that only a few people have had. So, yeah, this is the reason why this is the reason why you should be calling me. Like, you look here, brother, I done did something that, you know, too many people, some people are begging for, you know. So I can understand that, you know, in that sense. And that's why I tell a lot of my brothers, if you're dealing with a woman, you respect that. Just respect that about her. Give her a little respect, and man, you can make a lot of the stuff go away a little bit easier. But I'm no relationship expert. I can just only tell you my experiences I've had or heard from other people.
You sound pretty decent to me.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, this has been amazing, this topic of discussion. And our listening audience, please tell us what you think. What are your thoughts on this latest tea, wine, whatever gossip regarding our dear black brother, Derrick Jackson? At the end of the day, this is a person that is put positioning himself to help. No matter, it's sort of like he is doing his job. This is a part of his the means of making income for his household and being a relationship expert. And now it's sort of clashed with his personal life. And so should his personal life and his professional life be tied into one to where, we're diminishing and discrediting his profession and his livelihood because of a side piece?
Well, I can tell you this much. One thing about listening to people that give advice is the fact of experience. Now he has this experience under his belt. It could do two things for him. It could actually help his following go bigger, or he could lose some people. But I guarantee he'll lose some people and gain some people, because some people may look at it like, well, I can listen to him because he got caught in a situation. So let me understand his thought process or how, and it's up to the brother how he uses it. And if he listens to this podcast and take my advice, I need 10%.
Yeah. That's valuable information. I agree. Rolande, so tell me your thoughts on the next topic and when we're going to come back and bring us what's exciting, what's happening next for us.
Don't know, but we got a lot of things going on. One day we could talk about what we're going to do with this stimmy check. Huh? We could talk.
Yes, love that.
Yeah, we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about, because this is the Set Up Podcast, and we set up the platform to have a conversation about any and everything.
Yes. So stay tuned, guys. And this has been a great discussion, guys. And at the end of the day, we are here for you. So please, as Rolande said, let us know what you're thinking. Give us a shout-out, comment, leave us a chat at ttsnews@sherikaduncan.com. Look, we got so much exciting information and just entertainment coming up for you guys in 2021. It's been real, guys. Take care.
Peace.
Hey, as always, thank you for listening to That's the Setup podcast. Listen, let us know what you're thinking. Give us your feedback or questions. What would you like for us to talk about next? Send it to ttsnews@sherikaduncan.com. Until then, signing off.